This video is a step-by-step tutorial that will teach you how to replace a broken cable that is located within the front mast. All operators must wear proper safety equipment, including steel-toed boots, earplugs, safety goggles, and gloves. Displayed on screen are the tools required for this repair. Before operating on the lift, ensure that it is set on flat, level ground. Remove the fork assembly from the fork carriage by pulling the pin out, sliding the forks down, and removing them from the job site. Lower the fork carriage to the bottom of the mast, while then engaging the hold-down bar. Then proceed to unwind the cable from the winch reel. Loosen the cable keeper, also referred to as the rope clamp. You will then remove the cable from the winch reel. Remove the cable keeper kit from the winch reel. Adjust the push tube handle to the highest slot, closest to the winch. Stack two wooden stringer pallets on top of each other. This will be the support that the lift will be tilted back on. Carefully tilt the machine back and lower slowly onto the pallets. It is highly recommended that two technicians lower the machine onto the pallets. Only perform by yourself if you have experience doing so. The mast should be parallel to the ground with the fork carriage facing upward. The push tube handle must be centered towards the middle of the pallet. Locate the damaged cable that is inside of the front mast. Next, begin by loosening the cap screw attached to the cable termination bracket. After removing the hardware, the swaged end of the damaged cable can be thrown away. You will now butt splice the end of the existing cable that is in the machine to the end of the new cable assembly by using layers of duct tape. This will enable you to feed the new cable assembly through the mast. Apply an additional layer of duct tape for extra support. You are now ready to pull the replacement cable through the entire mast assembly. When the swaged end of the replacement cable has reached the cable termination bracket, along with the butt spliced end making it through the last pulley, you are ready to move forward. Make sure that the small portion of cable that is inside of the swage is facing downwards towards the pulley. Locate the fastener hardware that is needed to attach the swaged end of the cable to the cable termination bracket. The rounded edge of the washer should be facing down when placed upon the bolt. Install the swaged end of the replacement cable to the upper termination bracket. Use a wrench and your index finger to push the bolt inward, while simultaneously using your thumb to push the swage forward as far as possible. Use a ratchet to tighten the bolt to the termination bracket. Next, you will disengage the hold-down bar. Begin to pull the cable from the bottom of the machine. This will move the fork carriage towards the cable termination bracket. The cable swage needs to be centered in the hollow portion of the fork carriage. If it is not centered, simultaneously pull up on the swage while pushing down on the bolt with the wrench. You will then slide the fork carriage to the very bottom of the front mast and re-engage the hold-down bar. Relocate the butt-spliced end of the cable. Remove the duct tape and discard the old cable. Have two operators tilt the machine back onto the ground as demonstrated here. Lower the push tube handle to the second slot from the bottom. Before moving forward, you must ensure that the fork carriage has been lowered all the way to the bottom of the front mast. You will now thread the new cable onto the winch reel. The cable must be wrapped 4 times around the winch reel. Double check and make sure that the fork carriage remains fully lowered during this process. Locate the oval-shaped hole on the winch reel. Make sure that it is aligned in this position before threading the cable through it. Pinch the cable together and tuck the end of the cable into the open space. If the length of your cable is longer than what is shown here, you will need to cut the excess cable until it is to the appropriate length. Relocate your cable keeper kit and partially tighten it to the winch reel. Pinch the cable and install it through the keeper to retain the cable. Continue to firmly hold the cable inside of the keeper as you fully tighten the cable keeper to the winch reel. After fully tightening, ensure that the edge of the cable is aligned to the edge of the winch reel. If these are not aligned, there may be excess cable that still needs to be cut. The cable replacement was done correctly if the winch looks like this. Thank you for watching this video. For more information, please visit www.liftsmart.net.